What's up everyone, this is Tony with JRNYcrypto. In this video we're going to be doing an update on the crypto markets. We do have a pretty big dip today, down 10 to 20% on most cryptocurrencies. So I'm going to go over some huge news that is causing fear in the markets and my expectations going forward as well. So before we get started, I do appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified for daily crypto videos. Alright guys, so the crypto markets did take a pretty big hit today, down 10 to 20% across the board. The stock market also took a pretty good hit, and we are going to talk about some news revolving around this and why there's increased fear in the markets in general. So the general sentiment was that Bitcoin would take another leg down to around $38,000 to $40,000 Bitcoin, currently down 8.5%, nowhere close to $40,000 yet. Ethereum holding above $3,000. Lots of altcoins are down at 20% and more though, because they have had huge profits in the last couple weeks. So as we do have a correction in the markets, these do drop more because there's so much profit on the tables. People that did invest earlier on are willing to take profits off the table, even down 20% on the 24-hour. So we do have to keep that in mind. When Bitcoin is dropping, we tend to have the smaller altcoins dropping much more. And when we do have Bitcoin on a general uptrend, then we do have the smaller altcoins increasing faster than Bitcoin as well. So there is a lot of fear in the markets right now with a big dip like this, but if you guys do have a good entry and exit strategy, then you can take big dips like this as opportunity to continue dollar cost averaging and acquire more cryptocurrency at a major discount. So if you guys don't have a good entry and exit strategy, I do recommend checking out the pinned video on my channel. This goes over my pretty in-depth entry and exit strategy, how I look to dollar cost average on the dips, and how I take profits on the way up. I definitely recommend checking that out. I also have a cryptocurrency guides playlist you can check out as well. Lots of great valuable information in there. All right guys, so taking a look at Bitcoin on the charts, we have been moving sideways here between $44,000 and $50,000 since August 10th here, so a little over a month. So I do think that's normal and healthy, especially after the markets ran up so quickly when it did bottom on July 20th at $29,000. So going forward, the general sentiment is that we will retest $38,000 to $40,000 Bitcoin here before continuing upwards to break previous all-time highs of $64,000. So this is a scenario I think is very possible to play out, especially with how the economy is looking, the stock market. A lot of fear in the markets in general right now. So of course, people are going to be dumping cryptocurrencies as well. So it is good to understand the general sentiments of the market, understand greed and fear, and then apply that to your entry and exit strategy, and you'll do much better in the crypto space in the long term. So anything can really happen in the short term. It's not guaranteed. We keep dropping and retest that. We could get some huge breaking news tomorrow that does send us back up to $50,000 Bitcoin. Anything is possible in the short term. We do have to keep that in mind. Looking at technical analysis and the news does help us make predictions, but it's no guarantee. Anyone that is guaranteeing something is pretty much fooling themselves and everyone else as well. So just be careful who you listen to in the crypto space and always do your own research. So we also had the stock market dip today with some big news. The Dow tumbles 900 points as Wall Street's fears turn to China. So the Dow and the broader US stock market fell sharply Monday as Chinese real estate conglomerate Evergrande debt crisis made American investors uneasy. It's shaping up to be the worst day since last October for the S&P and the Dow. So pretty bad day today for the stock market. I do think fear is spilling over into the crypto space and for the economy in general right now. And coronavirus cases are starting to pick up again. And if we do compare that to last year, then coronavirus cases will likely be peaking in November and December for the holidays. So we could definitely be getting more lockdowns, more stimulus packages, more business loans, a lot more printing in general I do expect is coming. So with the crypto market dip today, this article is stating we could be forming a double top for Ethereum. ETH price loses 12.5% amid Evergrande contagion fears. The pattern's neckline support near $2,000 emerges as Ether's downside target. So this could mean we could be testing as low as $2,000 Ethereum if the markets continue to drop. So this is a bearish pattern, which was triggered with this double top. So a double top is the pattern develops after the price rallies strongly, pulls back, rises again toward the previous peak, and corrects all over again, all while standing atop the so-called neckline support. Ultimately, the price falls below the neckline and target levels located as deep as the distance between the double top's peak and the neckline. So that could mean we're headed towards a $2,000 Ethereum if the markets continue to drop. That is a $1,000 drop though. I don't think that's very likely to happen unless Bitcoin does test that $38,000. It's possible Ethereum briefly tests $2,000. So in my opinion, a lot of the crypto space looks very similar to this, having this double top here. Basically the entire crypto space moves together somewhat. So we do get a huge rise in the markets, which did peak in May, and then a major market correction. Now the entire market peaking again recently, but some crypto is doing better than others. Obviously Ethereum has been doing better because of the London hard fork upgrade and just being bullish in general. So many NFT sets and altcoins launching in the last couple months. So I'm still very bullish on Ethereum for end of year, especially after the London hard fork upgrade, burning Ethereum tokens with every single transaction. People continue using the Ethereum blockchain, even with great alternatives out there like Cardano and Solana, because Ethereum is just so much further developed. The third-party platforms are easy to use, and people are just familiar with them, so they continue using the Ethereum network even with the high gas fees, and that will continue in the short term, especially with layer 2 solutions coming and multiple upgrades of Ethereum 2. All of this is designed to make the Ethereum network more efficient and greatly reduce gas fees. So going forward, I do think in the short term, Ethereum will have much better return on investment than Bitcoin. We're now starting to see institutions buy Ethereum as well. Recently, ARK Invest announcing they're doing 40% in Ethereum now and 60% in Bitcoin. I do think more institutions will follow. So lots of demand coming to Ethereum. And I do think it's more bullish than Bitcoin in the short term. And I don't think this double top signal means anything for Ethereum. I do think this will continue rising more than Bitcoin in the short term if the crypto space continues in a general uptrend, and we do see things moving upwards towards the end of year still. So we are getting some people predicting a stock market crash as well as a real estate market crash. People are predicting a crypto market crash. There's always people predicting a market crash in every market. We do have to be aware of that, and we really have to do our own research and understand what's going on in general, because generally when there's mass fear like this is when people actually pick up their best deals and they take that as opportunity to accumulate. But it is very hard to time the bottom, which is why I do recommend having that entry strategy. So this article is stating, here's why Bitcoin might be safe from a global stock market crisis. In my opinion, if there is a stock market crash, the crypto space would crash alongside of it, just like it did in March of 2020 for the coronavirus panic. So this is also stating at the bottom here, until Bitcoin becomes fully entrenched in financial markets and accepted as collateral and deposits, the midterm systemic risk for the cryptocurrency is lower than the traditional market. So that is very true, but we would still get a very bad crash alongside of it. It just wouldn't completely collapse in this scenario. But in this scenario, we'd also have much bigger things to worry about. We would likely enter a Great Depression again as well. So I do think governments will do anything they can to prevent this from happening going forward. We do have big talks about this, and the government raising the debt limit as well. So with a major dip like this, there are going to be people taking this as opportunity and accumulating more cryptocurrency. We also got news of El Salvador acting on Bitcoin price dip and buying 150 Bitcoin. So now we have a country acquiring Bitcoin on every major dip. Pretty crazy to see this. Alongside MicroStrategy also continuing to buy up more and more Bitcoin on every dip. So El Salvador didn't miss the chance to buy the dip, as Bitcoin's price fell back to 45,000 after a bullish week. So even with the dip in the crypto markets, we still have some very bullish Bitcoin price predictions. This article stating Bitcoin heavy breakout fractal suggests Bitcoin price can hit $250,000 to $350,000 in 2021. That is a massive price increase from the current $44,000. So I really don't see that happening by end of 2021. We only have a few months left here, and this would be a massive rally. Imagine some of the profits some altcoins would be seeing if Bitcoin did rally over $250,000 by end of year. We would be seeing 10 to 20x for a lot of top 100 altcoins, even 50 to 100x for a lot of the much smaller market cap altcoins, which is very possible. But I do think if something like this plays out, it's going to happen in 2022, like I have been saying. I really don't think by end of year is enough time at this point, and I really think the bulk of mass adoption will be happening towards mid to end 2022. So the analogy appeared in anticipation that Bitcoin could post a 2017-like bull run in which the price rose by more than 1900%. So using that price, the percentage really doesn't make sense here because the market cap is much bigger. Things are much different at this point. I really don't think it would repeat with the same exact percentages as we've seen with previous bull runs. The percentage does get smaller with each bull run here. So we can also look to the stock to flow model, which does show a minimum of $140,000 Bitcoin by end of year. So I'm still pretty bullish by end of year. I think 100,000 is possible, but pushing over $150,000 is very unrealistic in my opinion. So in the short term, we have no idea what's going to happen, especially because other markets come into play here, like the stock market and real estate markets. If everything begins to crash, the crypto space obviously will crash as well, at least temporarily. So I'm still very bullish in the long term. I always have been. I'm dollar cost averaging and continuing to do this. So I do recommend having a good entry and exit strategy. If you guys have a good strategy and you're in this for the long term, you're most likely going to be very successful 5 to 10 years out. So that's pretty much it for today. Last piece of news here before I do end the video, something I thought was pretty interesting. Satoshi Nakamoto statue goes up in Budapest. Whoever he or she was, Bitcoin creates value, and especially the technology behind Bitcoin blockchain creates value. So here's a picture of that statue. I think it looks pretty awesome. There was also lots of people gathered here for the reveal of the statue. Quote here, Satoshi Nakamoto has created an independent money, free of any middlemen, that empowered people with financial sovereignty. We have erected this statue to remind ourselves courage is virtue. We need to keep on dreaming big. Great quote there, and I think a great way to end this video for today. So anyone out there that's panicking, definitely look into an entry and exit strategy and be ready to execute on that so you can be successful in the long term. Like I said, I do have a lot of videos on my channel you can check out. There is a link in the top right of this video that goes to my crypto guides playlist if you want to check that out. I do recommend sending that to anyone in the space that you know that's newer, that can definitely use some extra education. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys found it useful. Don't forget to like the video, comment below, and subscribe and hit the bell if you do want to be notified for future videos. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.